Okay, Garnet again, and we're focusing on the Neurolite and Neuroplastic assessments. We'll see how this unfolds. Normally I say that there are 4 ways to make a neuroplastic assessment when working with a person and wanting to make appropriate choices either within the brain gym for specific training exercises or in the brain skills when you're working with the new learning acquisition, the compositions in the brain skill. So the first assessment is what I call the no assessment assessment. What's the no assessment assessment? The no assessment assessment is when you basically maybe don't feel confident, you don't know, you're in a rush, I don't know. You just decide that you have to go ahead. And in a case like that, when you're in the brain gym for the exercises, I would say choose foundation level coordination. Foundation level coordination is the safest bet you can make. When you look at the brain as a complex adaptive system, the multiplicity, the mind-boggling multiplicity of functions that are going on simultaneously, you realize that of the 4 different types of exercise, coordination, flexibility, endurance, and strength, that the big one, the important one, is coordination. Getting all these signals to be coexisting in an agile, coordinated fashion is one of the main labors or main tasks of the brain. These things aren't happening instantaneously. They're happening in fractions of the second. But these very small fractions multiplied by, billions every second, at least, you realize that coordination is fundamental. So if you don't know which of the 4 types of exercise that would benefit a person, you can't go wrong with coordination. And foundation is at the simplest, lowest level of demand. So it can either help a person significantly, or if nothing else, act as a kind of a tonic reinforcement of a very specific type of signal reaction, the coordination. So that's the no assessment assessment. I've sometimes played a game that if I only had one button in the brain gym to train the brain in fundamental exercises, I suppose it would be the signal characteristics at the foundation level of coordination, because everything builds on that. You could also, I suppose, in the no assessment assessment, kind of take a chance at any of the other 3: foundation flexibility, foundation endurance, foundation strength. It's one of these decisions where it's really only a question of how much benefit, because there's no detriment. It'll always give benefit. And you can flip a coin, you can use a pendulum, you can just, whatever you want to do in terms of which of the 4. If you don't want to go that far, then choose coordination. Now, if you would go over into the brain skills with the same no assessment assessment, then I would encourage you to typically stay at a foundation level throughout. What you might find is when you go, for example, into exploration and you click foundation, it says empty. It's because all of the exploration compositions have, by their very nature to go exploring, have a higher neuroplastic demand. So my recommendation is, tread lightly when you go into the exploration compositions if you feel that the person's general vitality is not up to it. Like, you wouldn't take them on a 7-day exploration trek through the mountains if they didn't have the physical fitness for it. it's much the same. So the no assessment assessment is the first type, and is where you play it safe. You work at foundation level if it's the brain gym exercises, foundation coordination, or any of the other three, although I would choose coordination first if you had no sense of it. You won't do harm, don't worry. The only thing that may happen is that the degree of benefit, the amount of integration, could be higher because maybe they have the capacity for that. But in any case, it's like, as I've heard, Segovia, master classical guitar player, did his scales every day because everything was built on the scales. So you can't go wrong by going fundamental. Thanks.